Hi guys, it's Claire. I'm back with another video for you, and today I'm going to show you how to make these lovely gold foiled leaves. This is a card that we made at my workshops this week. I've got 3 of them because obviously I demonstrated it quite a bit, but I'm not going to show you how to make the whole card. In all honesty, the rest of it is relatively easy, just layers, textured embossing folder, layers again, a sentiment, and the leaves. The leaves obviously were the main part of the workshop. So I want to show you how to do those. I've had a few emails and one of my ladies missed the class, so she wants to see how we done these leaves. Okay, so what you need to do them is obviously a stamp set, an embossing pad, so I've got the Wow one, but you could use just a Versamark. I've got some Wow bonding powder, a piece of gold foil, obviously some cardstock to stamp your stamps onto. I'm using an embossing buddy, and I've got my Misty. I've also got off to the side here, I've got a laminator that's warming up, so getting nice and hot for us, and my heat tool. So let me show you how I done these. Now, you don't have to have a Misty for this, you can just stamp as you regularly would, but to be honest, if you've got a Misty, it's better. You manage to get more of the embossing pad or Versamark, whatever, onto here, so it works better. You just get a slightly better coverage. So I pop my bit of paper in. Firstly, I'm just going to whiz over with my embossing buddy to get rid of any excess static. And because I cut my leaves out, I didn't have to be too fussy with that, because even if we did get a little bit of gold where we didn't want it, we were cutting them out anyway. But if you were doing it on something where you're not going to cut out the whole thing, take your time to do that embossing a little bit better. So I'm just going to do 3 leaves for now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so pop those down, pick them up with the lid, and go all over with my embossing pad. And give them a good press down. And carefully lift up. Ooh, it's very sticky, so you've got to be very careful. And this is where the Misty is good, because you can go back over again, so you get just more of this on there. You get a better coverage. Give it a good press down again and lift up. Let's have a look, is that nice? Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I'll just move this to one side for a minute. I will obviously clean those stamps off in a second. Now what you need to do is sprinkle onto here, oops, can't pick it up, some bonding powder. So this is the Wow bonding powder. Other companies do make it as well, I just happen to like this one. Sprinkle that on. Be quite generous, you want this to have a really good coating. Make sure it's nicely covered. Now as you hear, you would be able to see if you've missed any bits with the embossing buddy and you've got powder stuck where you don't want it, now you could get a dry brush and just wipe it off. It looks like I haven't got any on here as it happens, and as I say, I would be cutting these out so it wouldn't particularly matter. Pop that away. Okay, so now we need to use our heat tool and just heat set this. Now when you heat set it, as you always do with the heat tool, you go over until it changes and it looks sort of glossy and a bit like dried glue. When you're doing it with the foiling, you need to overdo it a little bit, so do it for a little bit longer than you think you normally would. So I finished up with my heat tool. So as you can see, it's all glossy, and as I say, looks a bit like dried glue on there. And then I'm going to pop on top my gold foil and give this just a little press down. And it doesn't, I've done it at workshops, and it doesn't matter, to be honest, if you do this when that's still warm. You can do it when it's cooled down a bit, it's not a problem. Okay, then I've just got another piece of thin white paper, just printer paper, and I'm going to pop that inside. And I'm going to run this whole thing through my laminator. So let me bring my laminator over if I can. just trim off those excess bits actually. Trim that down a bit, it doesn't need to be so long. There you go, that's better. So pop that back in my paper and run it through the laminator. And then I'm actually going to run it through again. You don't need to do that. I just like to, you know, better safe than sorry. So just run it through another time just to make sure that the heat has got everywhere it needs to get. So done with the laminating. Open this up. Now the top tip here is just to let this cool down completely. I'll just fan it around so that it cools down a bit quicker, but you literally need to just leave this for a while. I mean, a good few minutes. You can feel when it's obviously cold to the touch, you know that it's cooled down completely, but don't try and peel off this foil until it's completely cold. I mean, I've done foiling in the past, and to be honest, I was never that impressed with the results. I always thought it was a little bit uneven and not brilliant, but I think that's exactly what I was doing, was just peeling the foil off too quickly. So just leave that for a while and let that cool down. Okay, that's cold enough now, and I can feel, just put it on the back of your hand and you can feel that there's no warmth there, it's cold. And then, ready for the big reveal, you literally just peel off your foil. And that's it, you've got gorgeous leaves. Now as you can see, there obviously was a little bit of bonding powder here where I didn't want it. It doesn't matter to us because, as I say, I was cutting those out, so it didn't matter. But it's just absolutely beautiful, really, really beautiful. Now you still don't get what I would say is a really, really crisp lime. On a leaf or something like that, it doesn't matter too much. If I was doing a sentiment, I would want it to be crisper. And I think that's where you need to do it with a laser printer. I haven't tried that, so I don't know how it works out. But from what I can tell, a laser printer gives you a slightly crisper edge than that wow bonding powder does. But overall, I think these are absolutely beautiful and I'm really pleased with them. They're great for like leaves, as I say, things like that. Flowers would look stunning in them. I've got, for Christmas coming up, I'm doing some gold sort of snowflakes that I've got in mind to do. So yeah, really, really pretty. I hope you can see how pretty they are on camera there. And that is it. So yeah, just a quick sort of demonstration on how I do my leaves or how I do my gold foiling. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon. Bye.